Welcome back. Okay, we're back with Women of the Bible, Old Testament, and we are going to be looking at Lot's wife and his daughters. And the references for this is Genesis 19, 4 through 38, and Luke 17, and it's actually 29 to 32. And to kind of sum it up a little bit, let's take a look at Luke 29 through 32. It's Luke 17, 29 through 32. It says, "But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, and rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop, and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. Remember Lot's wife." And who could forget Lot's wife and what happened there? So, as a thought, and as I like to start them, as a thought, do you constantly look back and long for what you had and not keep your eyes on God? I've done it a few times. And then I get whacked upside the head and reminded and put my eyes back where they belong. Now, as you're reading through the Testament, the Old Testament, Lot's wife, they don't give us her name. They do not give us the name of the girls. But she does play a pivotal role on what not to do when God says don't do it. Now, everyone knows the story of Lot and the story of Sodom. What you may not know is how Lot and his family came to be in Sodom. He moved his family and his cattle to Sodom because he wanted more land for his cattle. At first, they did not live in the city. They lived in tents on the land. And as you're going through the story and you're reading through the story, at some point, they transition from tents in the land to in the city. And Lot, he does his thing. He goes to synagogue, takes the wife and kids with him. But his wife does not trust God. She doesn't trust him. She doesn't trust anything being told to her. You know some people like that? I do. I know a few. And as you're reading through the story tells you, whatever you do, don't turn around. Leave the city, take your wife, your girls, leave the city. Don't look back. She just can't take it. Now, bear in mind, before leaving Sodom, 2 angels came to Lot and are staying with him. Now, imagine 2 townfolk force their way in and want to force themselves on the 2 angels. And instead, Lot offers his daughters. Town folks say, who wants them? And leave. Now at this point, the angels drag all but 4 of the individuals out of the city. Get all but 4. Now, as they're climbing the mountain, they're going through and they're climbing that wonderful little mountain, that wonderful little hill. And Lot's wife says, "To heck with this. I can't keep my back turned on this. I got to see what's going on. To heck with everybody else." How much does it get your curiosity? You've heard curiosity kills the cat. And in this case, she turns around as the city is being destroyed, and she turns into a pillar of salt. Distrust. So now Sodom is gone. Lot's wife is gone. And the story takes them settling in a cave. Lot takes his daughters and they set up in a cave. Now, Daddy ain't handling it too well. I don't know too many men that would. He's getting drunk. It seems like he stays drunk. They're working, the daughters are working together to try and take care of their needs. And in the end, the daughters decide to lay with their father. They get pregnant and have boys. They have a couple of boys. So apparently they're not any angels either. And as you're going through the story, and you go through here, in Genesis 19, 1 through 38, it's very lengthy. Bear with me. Okay? And there came 2 angels to Sodom at even. And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, "Behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways." And they say, "Nay, but we will abide in the street all night." And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they laid down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round both old and young, all the people from even quarter. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, Where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot went to the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have 2 daughters, and have not known men. Let me, I pray you, bring them unto you, and do you to them as if is good as your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. And they said, Stand back. And they said again, This one fellow came in to sojourn, and he needs to be judged. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them? And they pressed sore unto the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. But the man put forth his hand and pulled Lot into the house and to them and shut the door. And then he smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find a door. And the men said unto Lot, Haste thou here as any besides, son-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, and bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of whom is waxen great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord hath sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-laws, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his son-in-laws. And in the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thee and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the inequity of the city. And while he lingered, the man laid hold upon his hand and in the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him. Now, and it came to pass that they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither shall stay thou in all the plain, and escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said to them, Oh, not so, my lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy eyes, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. I cannot escape to the mountains, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near the flee up to, and is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither, and my soul shall live. As you can see, the story is building, and it's gathering its strength. And as you're reading through it, and you're going through here, And in Genesis, we go down to verse 25, and he's overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife, Lot's wife, looked back behind him and became a pillar of salt. And Abram got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass that God destroyed the city of the plain. Now, when you get down to verse 30, in verse 30, he's talking about Lot went up to Zorah and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him, and he feared to dwell in Zorah, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man on earth to come in unto us after the manner of the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they did. There's a lot more here. In 33, and they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, and not when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesterday with my father, and let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not that she had laid with him or rose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called him Moab. The same is the father of the Moabs unto this date. The younger, she also bore a son, and called him Benamah. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. Be weary of what you look back on and what you do. God bless you and keep you. And I look forward to us meeting again next time in Women of the Bible Old Testament. Will be Zilpah and Bilhah, which is in Genesis chapters 29 to 35. Blessed be, and see you soon.